In this one, we will see while and for loops. So loops execute a block of code repeatedly based on a condition. In Java, the two most common entry controlled loops, the condition is checked before each iteration, are the while loop and the for loop. So first one is the while loop. So the while loop repeats as long as its condition evaluates to true. Use it when the number of iterations is not known in advance. Okay, we have this condition, while condition code to repeat, and we can update expression here. Okay, essential to avoid infinite loops, and we will see why that. So example countdown. So let's say we have initial value up to 3, right? And we want to print something, or we want to do something while our that count node becomes 0 or less than 0. Okay, so we are printing that one, and we must provide update expression that will eventually resolve to the base case of our condition. Okay, or that will move forward to our base case in each iteration. Otherwise we will stuck in infinite loop, right? And without that, the loop runs forever. Infinite loops. If the condition never becomes false, example, you forgot to update the loop variable, the program will loop indefinitely. Always ensure the loop has a clear exit condition. Okay. Then we have for loop. So the for loop is ideal when you know the exact number of iterations. It combines initialization, condition, and update into a single line. For initialization, then we have one condition, then we have update expression here, right? We can do something here like code to repeat, and you know this for loop very well. Same thing here, this one is initialization. Okay, we can initialize multiple variables, that's fine. Then we have here this condition, and also we can provide here multiple conditions, that's still fine, right? And I plus plus, right? We have for int I equals to 0, j equals to 0 as well, or maybe j equals to 50, right? Now here what we can do is I less than or equals to 25, right? And our j greater than and equals to 25, j minus minus, and our I plus plus. So we can make our for loop with two variables as well, right? And we can print here something system.out.println I plus j. Okay, right? So you can run this one. So we got our output here, right? 0, 50, and we stopped here 25 and 25. Right. So we have one example here, printing a multiplication table. That's fine. You can do that. Initialization, condition check, update, and repeat. Now we have to use which the while loop, passed for unknown number of iterations. Okay, event based, readability loop, variable declared outside, variable scope, counter exists after the loop ends. Okay, and for loop, known number of iterations, all loop logic in one line, counter is scoped to the block. Okay. Now variable scope in loops. In a for loop, the loop variable declared in the initialization, example, let's say int I equals to 0, only exists within that loop block. Okay, this is called block scope. You can access X, but after that you cannot access that. You will get compilation error. So this prevents naming conflicts, since you can reuse the same variable name in subsequent loops without interference, right? Then we have quick summary, you can read that. Now let's move to our next chapter, which is enhanced for each. So beyond for and while, Java provides two additional loop constructs for specific scenarios. So first one is do while loop, and this one is exit control loop. It executes the body first and then checks the condition. Okay, so this guarantees the body runs at least once. Here you can do that, do and while. Okay, so input validation menu, let's say we have one scanner object and int choice. So we can print here something. Now while choice not equals to 2, then we can take again. okay, this choice, right? Maybe we can copy that, right? Okay, compile this one and run this one. So here we have menu, one for start and two for exit. So let's enter choice one. Again, enter choice, let's say we can add three here. Okay, until we do not provide two, our while loop will return true, right? We can take input again and again. And if we provide two here, that means we got out of the loop. All right, this is one scenario for do while loop. Now, when to use do while? Use do while when the code must execute at least once before checking the condition, such as menus, input prompts, or retry logic. You can have any use case. And then we have enhanced for each loop. So when iterating over an array or collection, the enhanced for loop introduced in Java 5 provides a cleaner syntax that avoids manual index management. We will see that one in arrays and collections a lot. But if you know that, then let's say your collection is of type string, then you can extract data using string and then you can assign that value. Okay. And then you can use that value like item directly. So this one has one limitation that you cannot change values during for each loop. This one is for only readability. Okay. So let's say we have one array of string, then we can just print directly. All right. So instead of doing for loop like traditional int I equals to 0, I less than languages dot length, we can directly get data. Okay. No index errors. So you cannot trigger an array index out of bound exception. Readability, less boilerplate. Then we have comparison, do while guaranteed at least once, 0 or more times. Okay, control type, exit controlled, entry controlled. Okay, so condition checked before body. Now limitation for each is read only. The for each loop does not expose, so it cannot modify array elements by position or skip specific items, right? Then we have quick summary, you can read for that. Now let's move to our next chapter, which is break and continue. Loop control, break, continue, and return. So we will see these three keywords, how we can control our loop. Okay. So by default, a loop runs until its condition becomes false. The break and continue statements provide additional control over loop execution, allowing us to exit early or skip specific iterations, right? First one is break statement. So break immediately terminates the loop. Execution continues within the first statement after the loop block. Okay. Example, early exit during search. Once a target value is found, there is no need to continue iterating. Okay. So let's say we have this integer array and our target is 30. Okay. And we are doing for each loop. Okay. Now, if our num equals to target, then we can print that syntax and we can break, exit the loop immediately. Now, where is for loop? So we can exit that. And also we can do that for while. Okay. And if this for loop is nested inside another for loop, that does not mean that this break keyword will exit from outer for loop. No, this one will exit from its own for loop. Okay. Remember that. Now we have continue statement. Continue skips the rest of the current iteration and jumps to the next one. The loop itself continues running. Okay. So example, skipping the specific value. Example, skipping a specific value. So if I equals to 3, then we can continue and we will skip this code. Okay. Or basically after this continue statement. So if you run this one, then you will get something like number 1, 2, and you will not get 3 because we skip that. Okay. Now break versus continue. Break exits the entire loop. Okay. Use case search found, stop processing, and continue skips to the next iteration. Okay. Filter out unwanted values. Now, most important, the return statement in loops. When a loop is inside a method, return exits the entire method, okay, and the loop along with it. This one is very important. So break exits only the loop, code after the loop still runs, but return exits the method entirely, right? It does not matter how nested you are. okay, inside method. So let's say you have this one. Let's say you have that, and we cannot put method inside method, right? So we can copy that, we can print that here. So it does not matter, like you are inside while, you are inside for, okay, and you are inside another for, okay. But if you put here break anywhere in the code, then you will exit all loops plus this method, okay. So this one, what return statement does, be careful using continue inside a while loop, right? If the continue skips the line that updates the loop variable, the condition never changes and the loop runs indefinitely. Now let's move to our next chapter, which is nested loops. A nested loop is a loop inside another loop for every single iteration of outer loop, okay. The inner loop runs to completion. This is the standard approach for working with 2D data structures, grids, or pattern generation. The core logic, okay, so you can put one loop inside another loop, right, and you can trace your execution as well. So we have some popular use cases: generating a grid. Nested loops are the standard way to work with 2D data structures such as matrices, tables, coordinate systems. Then we have pattern example, right angled triangle. So the inner loop's limit depends on the outer loop's variable, creating a growing pattern, right? So if you have done some patterns problem, okay, or some little bit code in DSA, then you are very familiar with these kind of blocks, okay. I don't think we need to spend times on these blocks. We know how it works, and if you are absolute beginners, then still you can understand, right? For each iteration of outer loop, our inner loop will run completely, okay. Maybe you can check something, right, just in case you are absolute beginners. Then we can compile this one and we can run. So before run, so we can understand what will happen here. Our outer loop will run 5 times, okay, from 1 to 5, right, and inner loop will run up to I, j equals to 1. Initially our I is 1, so our this loop will run only one time. So our inner loop will run, it will depend on I, okay. So our I is 1, that means it will only run one time, and in next iteration this will become 2, okay. So this will run 2 times, and each time we are printing this star, okay. So I guess we will get triangle shape, right. Performance time complexity, right, this one is very important. Nested loops multiply the number of operations. Be mindful of this when working with large data sets. Single loop on, nested loops 2 levels, n square, triple nested loop, n cube, okay. So you should definitely avoid this one in production. Then we have quick summary. Now I guess our basics are cleared, okay, like very basics. And now we can move toward first data structure, which is array.